Hi everyone, it's Essie here with a layout for the Scraptember January Stash Bash. Now my stash bashing is photographs, so I'm doing a multi-photo layout. I always end up with these little 2 inch by 2 inch photos when I print a square photo on my selfie. You saw at the beginning there that I had a square, and then I always print 2 little ones, but then I always end up with a huge collection of these little photos. So I've pulled out some of my wildflower and honey stash that I got from Lottie Loves Paper some time ago. This is a Vicky Booten collection, and I haven't used pretty much any of it really. So with her new collection on its way, I thought I better had. So I've chosen my background sheet there, and I'm going on to just excuse my voice today, I've got a bit of a cold, so I might be a bit husky and coughy. So I've got a square there which is 7 by 7 that I'm going to use to put in the middle of the background page as a mat for all of my little photographs, and I'm just matting it there onto some of that orange paper, having decided that I prefer that over the pink that I also tried, and I'm inking the edges with Hickory Smoke Distress ink just to give it a little bit of definition. I'm going to lay out my photographs, and this layout is, for me, there's no messy mixed media stuff. It's all about layering up lots of ephemera, lots of bits of paper, stickers to get that stash used. I'm going to mat some of those little photographs on patterned paper. I've also got the cut apart sheet here, which I'm going to use a couple of pieces from, just slicing those out with my trimmer. And I'm going to cut them down to size, just fussy cutting around that. I love that craft tab with that flower on. It's a little bit bigger than I want it to be, so I'm just chopping that top off, and then I'm going to trim this piece down to size as well, so you can just sort of see the hello and part of that circle. I spend a lot of time fiddling around in this video. I've actually put it at a bit of a quicker speed than I would normally, because I just it's basically lots of moving bits around to see where I want them to go. But I'll talk through kind of the reasons why I put things where I do, and why I think about my positioning of lots of ephemera. I end up with lots of layers and a couple of clusters at the top and bottom of that main panel. And I always use have in my head, I'm kind of not really aware of consciously thinking about design elements and design rules when I'm scrapbooking, but I always do have in my head about using things in 3s or 5s. The eye sees odd numbers. They're more appealing, and also things in triangles, so that it draws your eye around the design. And I've kind of always got those things, those 2 elements in the back of my head, as well as kind of like the rule of thirds as well, about placing things in, using sort of the thirds of the layout for positioning. Having said that, I'm putting this in the middle. But it's kind of across the central third of the page. So I've stuck some of my photographs and background elements down there. I've used that craft tab up in the corner, the one with hello, and I've also used part of the border strip, the manufacturer's strip with those red hearts on across the bottom there too, and that's coming slightly off the background mat. I want to overlap some. I like things that kind of carry off the edges. I think it gives a continuity and breaks up the structured the lines a little. So I've already picked out some of the bits from the ephemera pack that I thought I might like to use. Haven't decided which bits I'm going to use where and whether I'll use all of them, but I've picked out the ones that I thought were most likely to work on this layout. sticking down the rest of my photographs there, and just fiddling around with the ephemera to see what I want to use where. Just trimming that in half, always frugal with my ephemera, chopping things in half when you're only going to see half of it poking out, so that you've got the other half to use elsewhere. And I think I do use the other half of that, can't remember. I'm layering up some of my elements on foam pads, and you'll see I did that with some of my photographs as well, just to give some different dimensions to my layout, using the other half of that reddish circle that I used. So you'll see on the left hand side there, I've used one of the chipboard stickers from this collection too, and I just thought it worked really well with these little photographs. It says life is a series of tiny little moments, which I thought fitted really well with all of these selfies of me and my other half at various times and events. Just having a look now at what else is on those chipboard and sticker sheets. I've started building up those clusters in the top and bottom corner. So I've got some arrows. Always use arrows pointing in towards your layout so that they draw the eye and not going off the page. Otherwise they'll take your eye away from what you want people to be looking at. I've got a couple of hearts. And just looking again still, I love these tassels, so popping one of those in. And when I'm making clusters, the other thing that I always try and bear in mind is to keep things connected so that the cluster kind of works and is grounded with all the different elements being connected up. I try and there's another little arrow there. So now I've got 3 arrows. So just keeping that rule of thirds, that you know, the 3 elements the same going on. Carrying on with the chipboard stickers, I've also got I have got some other Vicky Boughton collection items here. I've got the sticker sheets and chipboard stickers from Kaleidoscope as well, but they all work really well together. So I'm just using elements off all of those collections, adding in those little crosses there from the chipboard sheet. And I've also got this sticker book. It was sold as when the Kaleidoscope collection came out. It's kind of individual sheets of stickers, but they work. A lot of them work really well with this collection as well. This collection has got gold elements on, and Kaleidoscope had sort of silver holographic. So I'm just being a bit careful about not, I've got gold on this layout and I don't really want to mix those. So just being a bit careful about that. But the butterflies and flowers from these sticker sheets work really well. And now I've got 3 butterflies, you can see, that are in a triangle. So I've got that pink one down the bottom, the orange one along the right hand side, and then the blue one at the top. And they draw your eye. And I'm always kind of, you know, like I said, trying to keep that element in mind. I've got the hearts, the blue heart down the bottom right, the yellow heart across on the left, and then the chipboard sticker heart up on the top in the middle. And again, they form a triangle. Carrying on looking through, I've stuck that sticker under the Life Moments chipboard sticker just to give a bit of detail along the edge there. I felt there was a bit of a gap. And I want to now do something along the top and the bottom edge of the paper to just give another little detail. So I've got this tab sticker in black, which I'm positioning there after a moment of fiddliness, just getting that in the right place. And I just want to build up a little cluster of things in that top corner. I try that word, but that's too big and heavy, I felt. So just look, I know I want a strip of something along there, just trying to find a sticker that will do. And there you go, I found one, a border sticker from one of the sticker sheets. And now just wanting to decide what else I want to pop on there. Probably a circle there, but that one's a little bit big. So changing my mind about that. Possibly that blue one. Probably want another strip, a word strip of some description. There we go. I found that one which says laughter. And now that those circles are not working, I don't know why. I don't think they work. And then I think about a bee, but I haven't got any bees anywhere else. So if I put a bee up there, for me, I would want to bring in bees elsewhere on the layout, and I don't really want to because I think the other clusters are pretty much done. So then I try the rest of that black tab down in that left-hand corner, but I'm not happy with it. I don't think it's big enough, and I want to use that black strip, but that's not really working because that tab gets lost. So I take that off, try and go with the craft. And actually what I've ended up doing is giving myself 3 separate craft elements on the page as well. And that's me pretty much done. So I hope you've enjoyed Scraptember Stash Bash even. It's our chance to have a month of intense memory keeping with a new prompt and video every day to encourage scrappers to use up their stash. There is a YouTube playlist and a Facebook group, and the links will be below. Thanks for watching. Bye.